aka Elena, the artist of Sister Claire, and I'm joined tonight by
the one, the only, the incredible, the indelible Ash Barnes. I write the missing moments and I help Elena write the comic. And we're also joined tonight by
Sarah, resident rat tamer and worm wrangler.
And David, the diligent, doubly delible Dr. David.
Wait. It gets better every time.
It really does. It really does.
The man, the myth, what was it? The solicitor, the
settler,
the settler,
the person,
the pioneer.
Okay. So this is actually our second time doing the intro, dear YouTube listeners, because we kind of got off on a tangent and I realized I had no idea what I was drawing. So then I got carried away trying to do a sketch, and here we are. So basically, I'm working on a Pride-themed wallpaper today, and it's going to feature some of our favorite characters, drenched in the colors of their identity. Oh, there's a tangent here. Fuck.
I think you should just move Claire further down and then have,
Yeah, I can do that.
her horns sticking up. That would make a nice picture.
Should it be horny Claire or normal Claire?
Horny Claire. There you go.
Where are the pastries?
Right here.
But has Claire been shown in this manner before?
Horny Claire? Yes. Not, David, it's not the horny you're thinking about. Get your mind out of the gutter, David. This is a safer work drawing. I do not want my pastry at the moment. Please stop shaking it at me. I'm working here,
Okay.
lady.
All right.
Budgie said, if you're using it as an ad, do you really want to show a big spoiler?
Yeah, I had actually imagined it without the horn, but I have been posting pictures of Claire with horns for a long time now.
You can do it with or without. I think I was imagining a much smaller Claire and the horns were taking up like half of the picture, but the size she is, you could draw it like without the horns and it would leave more room for the flag to show or whatever background you draw.
Yeah, I don't really want
You can do without.
to do an awkward crop where it's just like her head sticking out of the bottom.
Oh, that's cute.
Unless it was, like starting from just below her eyes, it could be kind of like this, but that's weird. Like, no, I'm gonna have her be here.
Diesel Frog said, the flag and antlers. I think it's more like the flag's going to be behind them, right?
Well, I could do a couple things. I could either have the flag behind them, or I could have it like just overlaid over the entire picture of them.
I was thinking it could be interesting, like, if you chose, like for the pan flag, you chose the 3 tones, and then you drew the twins, like, line art and background and all, just in those 3 tones.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
I thought that would be really prettier than just slapping them on top of the flag or slapping a filter on them. Like a screen printed type. You know what I mean? Just a little no shading, no highlights, just stark colors.
Flame Rider asks if we have gotten any new soaps. Actually, we have. Sarah brought back some very lovely soaps from a relative in another state. I got honeysuckle. Eleanor, what kind did you end up picking?
Yeah, it was the pink tulip one.
And David got...
I got blue.
Blue. I think it's called starflower. It's some kind of, I don't know if it's a real
Blue
plant.
sugar.
Yeah, blue
It smelled
wine.
very good.
I like.
So I suppose, what was I? Oh, yeah, I forgot to say, how's everybody doing? Oh, Arwen Trow said that they went to college orientation yesterday and that they think they're ready for the fall.
Yay.
I am so glad.
Me too.
It's an exciting time.
Here at my university, I've been conducting orientation sessions myself for the incoming first years. And I hope you had a marvelous experience at your orientation. I hope you're really excited for the fall. It's going to be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I first met my former roommate. I met her at not even orientation, but my senior year of high school, some enticing event that was come toward the university again and we'll make it more fun for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I met Catherine there. And then I ran into her again at orientation and then we joined rugby together. So I saw her a lot before I came here actually, which is quite nice. So, it's never too early to introduce yourself to new friends.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say they're going to Pride, which is awesome.
Ooh. North Carolina Pride is not till September, right?
Yeah, it's always at a very weird time of year, and invariably they have it on a day that it rains.
Yeah.
So the whole place turns into this giant field of mud.
I went one year that it was not rainy. Apparently, a picture was snapped of me and my friends, and it's now hanging in the Union.
Oh.
Ariana is in it. I don't know if I'm actually in the picture, but I was right next to them, so my legacy lives on. Ooh. Laura says Sao Paulo Pride is next Sunday, and it would be her first Pride. Go, Laura, if you can. That's so exciting.
That is really, really exciting.
A fun time.
If you go, are you going to paint your face? Does anyone want a bite of this pastry?
No, thank you.
You can have as much as you want. I don't really want any more. I just don't want it to go to waste now that I've gnawed on it. Ooh. Matt says, hi Matt, by the way. Matt says, Asher Elena, I have some questions from Zach who can't be here, but had some good questions that I said I would ask for him. Can you answer some of them? I will do my best.
As will I, if they're directed at me.
In song form.
That's more Sarah's thing. Sarah's good at song lyrics.
Everyone knows I'm the bard.
It's referencing the shiny crab.
Shiny. Hi, Woody.
Come on, it's time him for what he's around him.
Flame Rider asks for like a left to right. Who are all the people in this picture?
Okay, so this is Oscar. This is Catherine, Claire, Rosie, Marie, and Lupo. And I was thinking about having everybody be tastefully naked.
That's a possibility.
Like those Utena posters, but a little bit less erotic.
Good.
You know, the only thing here, does Lupo count as a character of color?
I mean, I guess it depends on, if you're talking in the US sense of the word where there's only like black, white, and Asian, no. He is Italian and he's of the darker skinned variety of Italian.
So, not really. Okay. Our pride is looking very white. Can you expand the picture at all?
It's so symmetrical.
Just add one on either side.
But then it's not going to be the wallpaper shape anymore. This is the ratio for the wallpaper.
Like, I think we've got some really important identities here.
What if you did someone other than Claire and went back to the idea of side characters?
Well, they're not side characters is the only thing. Like,
yeah, but just not the main character.
well,
I really want to have Claire though, and I think it's important to have like an ace main character featured, but
You have Catherine.
I feel weird taking the main character out of the thing.
yeah, I also think that... How about this, Elena? I saw you wince preemptively. Come on! Jeez. How about... Laura suggested trading Lupo for Jackson. No, I don't really want to get rid of Lupo because I also think it's important to have a guy in there. But... you could do several, like... Go ahead and continue with this version, but you could also do a couple of extra, what would you call these slices, like slides, with extra characters, and like when it's not, you could offer like different versions of the wallpaper, like with some of the characters replaced, and then for a promo picture later you could include all of them. Does that make sense?
So like make twice as many and eventually do like a larger picture that's all of them stacked or something?
Yeah, like you don't have to do twice as many. You could just do like 2 extra if you wanted. I'm thinking, because I think it's also important to have queer characters of color here, and we have none.
I agree, but like it's gonna look really weird if there's like 5 and then 2 just like stuck on the bottom. It's gonna be asymmetrical and weird.
You don't have to stick them on the bottom, you could stick them on the sides. Like, you could have different versions of the picture, like,
Or wider.
you could have it wider. This is just wallpaper sized. For the wallpaper, you could make a version that's this, or mostly this. Like, Lupo's not talking to anyone here. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Lupo's not talking to anyone. You could always chop him and put Jackson on one of them, or chop the twins and have Olga and Jackson. Like, you could make enough slides and make several different versions. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I haven't perfectly measured this out to be like accurately sized. I mean, like the different things, I just kind of eyeballed it.
I think it's fine. As long as you, like, from here on, as long as you make them the same size. Like, if you were going to do extra ones. That way it would be easy to just switch them out.
They're still not exactly the right size. I'm trying to figure out now how I can... It's not even exactly in inches or anything. I'm just going to continue it the way it is right now because we can talk about like expanding to other projects after, like.
After what?
After this is done, like, do you want me to do like 2 wallpapers tonight?
No, that's not what I meant. Like, I was just meaning you could have a couple extra slices, like, with different characters to, like, either eventually add to the entire thing or to put instead of some of these other characters. Like, because there are some characters who have the same, like, who would technically have the same colors, but would just be, like, instead of having this be the whitest white bread to ever white, you know, you could have some queer characters of color there, too. Yeah. I think Olga and Jackson would be good to add. I think instead of Oscar, you could have Mummel. You could have Ozzy. You could, you know, other ones. And since you could keep these sketchy, like Sarah said, without, so it wouldn't have to be super, super intense. So, Matt, one of the first questions, he says, from Zach, is magic a foreseeable option in the Sister Claire verse for in vitro fertilization? I'm going to say, yeah, why not? That would, the next time, Matt and Zach, since Zach asked the question, the next time someone in the comments is like, okay, I'm really tired of all the queer couples, where do baby come from? How is baby formed? You know, I'm going to be like, magic.
It wouldn't even have to be like in vitro fertilization. I think it would be all kinds of fertility medicine.
Yeah, like...
Go beyond the scope of technologies we have today.
Yeah, I mean, my God, we've got wards that stifle magic and help magic thrive. We've, on opposite ends of the spectrum, why not have wards that can help same-sex couples have children?
That would be fertility medicine is an area of science that I would be very interested in working in.
But
it's something I've not ever talked to my mom to, but I would like to.
I think we could only use more people that could help out with that, Sarah.
And I don't mean necessarily to make lesbian babies, but any kind of fertility medicine. It's not my dream, but I know it's a lot of people's dream.
You okay?
I'm just tired. I've been drawing all day.
That was a really good question, Matt and Zach. Zach. Thank you for relaying it, Matt. But I suppose to summarize, yes, magic could be used not just for things like in vitro fertilization, but fertilization in general. Like for fertilization. Lord Jesus. Fertility. Aw, people in the chat are talking about coming out and like how they came out and stuff. That's really cool, y'all. Like other people in the chat, I had to come out several times.
I'm gonna have to go and make a phone call, but I'll be back later, guys. I'll be sad if I miss everyone's coming out stories. I'll be reading in the chat.
You can scroll back up.
Try not to slam the door.
Elena, how would you say this word in French?
Valois.
Thank you. I have been saying it correctly. I'm waiting for Sarah was trying to close the door and I looked up and I saw it like quivering.
I'm pulling my hardest
down. But Matt says, Zach's second question. The royal family of Throne of Mare are the Valois, correct?
I don't actually know what that means.
It's the surname. Like, that's what I have written in live writes and when writing with Laura. I don't know that Elena cares what their surname is. Do you care? She doesn't care. So yeah, that's it.
Are they the only characters to have a last name except Jackson
No.
and Zora?
Josephine. A lot of characters.
Canonically, like in the story, I mean?
Well, maybe, but I mean, I think a lot of characters might have a last name. We just don't usually get into it. Like, I'm sure.
Catherine doesn't have a last name.
Well,
she's the only Catherine in the world. Claire's the only Claire in the world.
Well, actually, there is a character who has, like, I have come up with a last name for Sabine. I have just not had a chance to share it yet. So let me say it this way: there are plenty of characters with surnames. They just it just doesn't always come up. So the easy thing to do would be to ask.
I'm also happy to leave them without having last names.
She's Palpatine.
Budgie asked, would Oscar use the royal's last name or Mummel's? Mummel. Yeah, Laura said Marianne has a last name too, canon and all. Yes, she does, Santiago. So Oscar's full name, I'll say it here, and I'll type it, is Oscar Nabavi. That's Mummel's last name. Surname. And that's the one she would use. So probably that's the one Catherine would use now too, if pressed. Oh, wow. That was like the loudest I have ever cracked my knuckles. Wow. Laura said, everyone is a Nabavi. Probably. Probably so. If pressed. Like, I'm sure Claire has never officially been given, like, a last name, considering she grew up in the Abbey and everything.
Here's a fun story. When I had to come up with a last name for her to give her her own Facebook page, which was later then replaced with an actual fan page when those became a thing you could do, I had to give her a last name, and so I wanted her to have a name that sounded comic-y. You know, like a lot of DC comics and stuff, that Lois Lane, Clark Kent, names that kind of, they don't rhyme, but they sound like their first name. And so I was like,
alliterative.
Claire Clementine was her name.
Mm-hmm. And
that was where I started using the name Clementine. And then the whole thing with Clementine kind of evolved out of this stupid Facebook requirement. And Gabrielle also had a last name. It was Ganesh.
Oh.
Gabrielle Ganesh.
Mm-hmm. Gabrielle's a character who, like, in actual canon, I'm not sure would have one. I'm not sure what Selkies do about that. Probably they don't have them.
She's not a Selkie anymore.
Well, that's true. Not entirely, anyway. What? What the hell? Yeah, Matt says, I remember Gabby saying her actual name is too long for people to say. Not long, it's just hard for humans to pronounce it. All the different
Screaming
teeth and like all the barky noises and things. Topaz is a flower child says, Ash, what is Claire's sexuality? Is she pan like the twins? We're pretty sure Claire's ace.
I'm not pretty sure, like, definitely.
Positive. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's how I've always, like, literally always thought of Claire.
Me too.
Yeah. Lara is also noticing the same thing that several other people noticed earlier, like, for a promo pic, wouldn't Claire's horns be spoilerific? I think
I've already posted so many like wallpapers and stuff, and that's what this is really meant to be, that I don't really care. Like, it's okay.
I think too that she's had horns for several chapters now, and there's horns all over the comic site and stuff. We can't show her without them forever. It doesn't make much sense.
Mm-hmm. I can't just never post promos of her that aren't her as a nun from book 1.
Mm-hmm.
I hate how Rosie's face is turning out.
Zach asks, what besides magic makes the world behave the way it does? Is there something more? What makes shards exist? What are they made of, if anything, besides suffering infused with magic become incarnate? So, that's a lot. I mean, if you're talking about, like, just, like, many of people's prejudices in the Sister Claireverse do revolve around magic, who has it and who doesn't. Because people with lots of energia, most of whom are people with magic, tend to draw shards, which are made from the pain of people who died badly. So, I suppose you could say that, you know, magic might be the catalyst for people's prejudices, but what moves the world in Sister Claire? The same thing that moves the world here, how people behave. Like, Ninja said, it's quite ironic that people have wars in this world, knowing shards rise from people who die badly, like in wars. It's not just war, though, that spawns shards. It's pain, it's sickness, it's, you know, people can suffer without ever having to be in a war. And isn't it terrible that, like, we don't have shards here in this world, the one that, you know, we're all talking to you in right now, but we have so much history that shows us how terrible war is, and yet it doesn't stop it from happening. Sometimes people learn from their mistakes, but so much more often they don't. So they turn right around and make the same ones again. Flame Rider says, Elena, which came first? Gabby being a Selkie or an angel?
Well, she's introduced as an angel at the very beginning of the...
I think they mean conceptually.
Definitely the angel part. I mean...
They just might not have been around for the whole thing, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she wasn't a Selkie until pretty late game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, why can't I draw their noses and stuff right? It's been a long time since I drew the twins.
Matt says, last question from Zach. Did anyone ever try to harness magic itself as a tool, sort of like the shards that were enslaved in a mill silo to turn and grind grain? Yeah, they did. That's what machina were.
Mm-hmm.
Are, rather. Someone in the chat misspelled Selkie as Silky, and now people are talking about Silky Chicken Gabrielle, which is funny because haven't you actually drawn her as a chicken?
No.
Oh, I thought you had. I thought
No.
you had drawn her as a fluffy chicken at one point.
I don't...
What am I thinking of?
What are you thinking of?
I don't know, but
I drew Jackson as a Pomeranian.
Yeah, I remember that, but I thought you had drawn... What other animal have you drawn Gabby as? Like, before she was...
A cat? I drew all of them as Neko Atsume characters.
No, it was like in your earliest concepts of Claire.
Oh, she was a cockatoo.
Okay, I knew it was a bird of some kind. That's what I was thinking of. See, I knew that I was thinking of a bird. Excuse me. CJ says, question. Is Claire aro or is she ace but feels romantic attraction? The silence is me staring at Elena's cheek and watching her lips like slowly peel back from her teeth. Oh no, I have the hiccups again.
I just want to repeat what Ash had said earlier about how I don't think either of us really has wrapped our head around aromanticism enough to confidently say we're writing characters like that.
Like I said earlier, we weren't recording, so for people on YouTube, like we were having a conversation outside the video. I apologize for the hiccups, but I have seen other people write aromantic characters really well, and I have read a lot about it and stuff, but it's not something yet that I feel comfortable enough with in my own understanding to feel like I can write a convincing character. And Elena and I have wondered before if Claire did identify as aro ace, but at this particular point in time, I don't think so. But I don't want to promise anything in that regard. Like I said, I'm pretty sure not.
I think it's safe to say that at this point we don't have any aro ace characters just because we haven't really intentionally made any that way.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah. Like, that's not to say that we won't have any. Just, like, I said this off the recording and now I'm going to say it on. I'm not going to offer you empty promises. Like, I don't want to tell you a character is right now because I honestly have not thought of them that way.
I also I think sometimes it's a cop-out when creators are like, characters can be anything you see them as, because that's not really the same as intentionally including some kind of relatable, identity.
Yeah. You gonna say, Dave?
Oh yeah, Dumbledore was gay the whole time.
Yeah.
Years after the last book is done.
Yeah, like, we're trying really hard not to be that kind of comic, okay? Like, if we're gonna offer you representation, we want it to actually be there. We want you to be able to see yourself in that character. And of course, this doesn't mean we're gonna create one single character that is supposed to stand for everyone in that particular identity or sexuality or anything. But, you know, when we write characters, we try to write them with as much information and understanding as possible. And right now, like, we're not comfortable writing that kind of character. I would really like to write a character like that, but first I need to be more informed. So, so I heard that there was a good question up here. Let me scroll.
Good question, TM.
Why does it do this? Okay, this is aggravating me. Every time I want the chat to stop scrolling so I can read a thing, okay. Laura said, so, human beings can, with proper training, channel their magic into doing different sorts of stuff. Can magical creatures like Selkies channel their magic differently, or are they pretty much stuck into their species-specific magic? That is a good question, but not a good question, TM. So, magical creatures can learn to do other kinds of magic, but I'm talking more like spell magic, basic, like things that you can read about in a book and like learn how to do the process for, and maybe use some of their own innate magic to fuel the reaction. Things like Nib does. Nib is able to do a lot of different kinds of magic, but does not innately possess like the talent to manipulate all these different kinds of elements and stuff. So, is not the Avatar. Is just really well read and practiced. Now, if you're asking if a Selkie could, say, transform into something besides a Selkie, probably not. That's a little bit much. Good question. Very good. My nose itches so bad.
You need a Kleenex?
No, it's the outside of my nose, like right here, along my delicate nostrils.
Do you need... Here.
No, like, it's not gonna help. I need to claw it.
Where's my pen? I have an anti-itch Benadryl.
You want me to rub that on my nostrils?
Yes. Yes, I do. Liberally. No, I dropped you guys. Are you okay? Here you go.
Laura said, so are humans the most versatile magic users? Who knows what the heck they'll do? That one over there is raising the dead, and this one shoots fire. Mm-hmm. Well, I think that really depends, like...
I think that's a fair assumption.
I guess, well, I think as a species, humans could, like, yeah, be the most versatile, but not every human is that versatile.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, every Selkie, you know, can change into a seal, or the more humanoid form, and every harpy can do this particular thing, and every Gorgon can do this thing. Like, yeah. And I mean, you know that not every wolf witch can transform. Just because you're a wolf witch, you know, from that family doesn't mean you have all the skills of, say, the best in your pack. Thank you for the Benadryl. I have smeared it over my nostrils and they still itch like hell.
Well, you know, it's not immediate. You gotta give it time, dear.
Aw, Topaz is a flower child said, I have a question. How are you today?
Aw.
I'm doing well. I'm
Also.
excited. Because my birthday's coming up. How about you, Elena? How you do?
I'm doing okay. I'm a little headachy. Even though I took Benadryl, I've just been working hard today.
Do you want this watered down Mountain Dew?
No, it's okay. I've got my watered down papaya juice or whatever the hell it is from Panera.
Matt says, I have a question. Is it a coincidence that Claire became pregnant around the same age that Clementine died? I'll have to get back to you on that one. Flame Rider says, Elena, how did you come up with the idea of selkies?
I think I saw a post about them on Tumblr or something, and I was like, hey, that's cool. I want one. And so I worked it into the story. I know that doesn't sound very exciting or professional, but hey.
She's listening.
Hey.
Because her Picarto wasn't working.
Oh.
Was it you who came up with the idea of selkies?
Mm-hmm. I wasn't even talking to you yet at the time. I remember I talked to Ingrid about it before I talked to you. So I guess it's not that young of an idea. But if we wanted to know around the exact time that I came up with it, I remember not being able to contain myself from posting the reference pictures of her as a selkie. Because I knew nobody would have any idea what it was for. But it was when I was in Plymouth. And I think it was almost a year before I started talking to you. Oh my God, look at this picture of him.
God, he looks so edgelord.
I know, that's what he would want.
Oh.
Oh my God. No.
Diesel Frog said, so if a bunch of merfolk were hunted, would they make a big water shard like a kraken? Chances are they would form something very similar to a siren.
I think what they're asking is, would it be one giant one?
It could be. Sirens are, sirens in specific are formed by selkies, but there are other water monsters that could, I guess, theoretically be,
I think it's not unlikely that they could become something like a kraken, some kind of huge, horrifying sea creature. If it was imagine a whole pod of selkies were killed, rather than becoming one siren, like Gabby became one siren on her own, they would probably become some kind of giant, horrible monster. Kind of like the tentacle thing, except, a water version. Trying to find that picture of Lupo. Oh, yeah. Look how cute. Lupo. My son. Lupo, you outshine the morning sun. My son. Look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for. There is so much more.
Oh my gosh, why? My nose itches so bad.
Maybe pry your fingers out of it. So
I am scratching. Thank you. I can have my fingers in my nostrils if I want.
It's my nostrils and I'll mine if I want to.
Hey, come on. I'm just scratching. Right here at the bottom of my nose. It itches so bad. Anyway. Okay, I must be allergic to something. Oh, Matt says, question. Did Clementine ever cut her hair, and would that have an effect on her magic? Spoilers! Well...
Or is it? I don't think she's ever cut her hair.
Let me type something to Elena.
Ash is like, time for me to tell you all the stuff I decided when you weren't looking.
I just...
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Gosh, that's the whole reason I discussed it with you before saying anything. Jeez. Don't be a jerk. I'm not the jerk. Just because I thought about the story like a writer is supposed to do doesn't... Come on. Anyway. So, I feel like to pseudo answer your question, Matt, yes, Clementine has cut her hair, or did cut her hair. She did.
She did.
She did.
In case you missed that detail.
She did cut her hair at one point, and yes, it did affect her magic. And I can't say any more than that.
She realized that it was her calling to be a hairdresser witch instead. And then she died. Because it wasn't her calling after all.
Jeez. I have only let... Oh, I know what I'm hearing. Oh. Oh, maybe I'm not hearing that. There's something weird going on with my sound. Occasionally I'm getting little whispers, but I have my sound all the way down. Flame Rider says, Ash, can you do the mumble voice? Elena's better at the mumble voice.
What should I say?
I don't know. Do the mumble voice.
I don't know the maman voice so much as Madame Hassini.
Yeah, there you go.
Mazie! Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
He put on the chair! What is nipple?
What is nipple?
She would never ask that question. She totally knows what nipple is.
I know what is nipple. This is nipple. You want to see nipple?
No, stop.
I got your nipple right here.
No, Jesus Christ. Why does my voice do that?
Wow. Wow. Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord have mercy. Is my face red? It feels red. I don't imagine her to sound quite that, like, whiny. But, yeah. I actually imagine her voice to be quite a bit deeper than that.
Yeah, I know. I don't really know what Momo sounds like. I just know that I imagine it to be similar to Madame Hassini.
I feel like she does make a lot of little noises, though.
Qu'est-ce que tu fais? What?
What? What the hell? What? I'm okay, I'm fine. Oh, oh my Lord Jesus. What are they talking about? Oh Lord. Matt likes my snort laughs. Laura says, did Clementine cut her hair when half of it got singed in the occasion of a broken horn of pain and a semi-dead girlfriend? Oh, I mean, or maybe, she just wanted a new look.
Mm-hmm.
Laura.
That's a good question.
It's a very good question. I can't do the voice. I can't really.
What? What are you laughing at?
I did a live write. Well, you read it, the one with Catherine and Oscar recently, and at the end, I was just imagining Mamo coming in with the pair of panties and using the Madame Hassini voice. Does anyone know about these?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? I imagine that whenever somebody makes a very poor excuse for something, especially something embarrassing, she just goes, ooh.
Yeah,
with a knowing. Ooh.
She's canonically she does the
Oh.
oh.
She never moves so quickly before. I don't know if anybody understands what we're talking about. I feel like if you've ever had a female relative who speaks any language but English, you'll understand that noise.
Mm-hmm.
Like my Italian relatives do similar noises, and
you know who does it? My great aunt.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese women, I think, make that kind of sound.
She has a very unfortunate habit, though, of going, in increasing volume. Matt said my mole sounds like my lawnmower.
Oh. I think I like to imagine both Oscar and Maman saying what Madame Claudie says. She's the lady who I used to stay with whenever I went to Angoulême, and she would go, oh la 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 la, whenever something unfortunate happened, whether it was like she spilled all of the apples on the floor that she was trying to serve for breakfast. Oh la 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 la.
I imagine that as well. I also imagine, you know who I think could sound quite a bit like Mummel? Or at the very least, like grown-up Oscar? Your mom's friend, Jesus.
Oh, Medium.
Yeah. Jesus, I eat it a lot.
Jesus, I eat it a lot.
I love the way her voice, rollicks. Every time I write Oscar's dialogue, I think of Medium.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want to see her. I love her so much.
I know.
I cried when we took her to the airport. She was one of the nicest people I've ever met. I'm crying right now.
I'm sure if you tell my mom that you really desperately miss Medium, she'll like invite her over for dinner and we can get her on Skype and we can have her record some lines as Oscar.
She was so awesome and good.
I know, she's so good. Ash, get yourself together. Jesus, I hated a lot. Something I think is really cute and funny about Medium is that she always asks questions. God, there are like tears pouring down Ash's face right now. But like, Medium will always speak in French first and English after. And her first language is Dutch. It's Medium. Qu'est-ce que tu fais?
You don't understand, y'all. Medium is like the coolest lady ever. I'm like sobbing. Oh my god. She's like the nicest lady, and
I knew you liked Medium, but I didn't know you felt like this viscerally strong about her, Ash.
I really did. Elena, don't you remember me like crying the whole way back to your parents' condo after we dropped her off at the airport in Hawaii? Come on. Like, she was just one of the most genuinely nice people I've ever met. And
would you like a coffee candy?
Yeah, every time I got near her, she was like trying to give me candy or something, and it was like just this very wholesome, golden, benevolent force, and her name was Medium.
Medium.
And so I always try to write Oscar that way. Except Oscar has a giant sword, so, you know.
Ash. Ash. Does Lupo have nipples? What is nipple? What is nipple? Yeah, here they are. They are just boing, 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 boing.
Oh my god, you did not make that noise.
Boing, 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 boing. Here they are. You see them, Ash?
Yes. Oh, Jesus Christ! Stop it!
Lupo's cold.
Come on, Elena. Stop. That's so fucking creepy. Elena, no. Oh no. Laura said, do you know what's going to happen if you show this to
Who's that man?
Who's that man? Oh, God. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, people are asking about my race because I mentioned, Great Aunt Michiru. So, Budgie asked, are you Japanese, Ash? And Topaz asked, I know Elena is Italian, but what is your race, Ash? I'm white, extraordinarily white, but, so, kind of weird. Okay, so, my grandfather, like, on, David, what are you doing?
He's trying to not make the door slam.
Oh, okay. I just saw him, like, zipping in and out of the door. Yeah. So, my grandfather on my dad's side was raised in Japan, and he died 2 weeks before I was born, and, like, no one knows a lot about him. Like, no one in my family ever wants to talk about him, and in pictures, when you see him, like, he definitely looks different than all of the rest of my very white bread family, but he doesn't look Japanese to me. And that sounds strange. Like, he was adopted, but I don't know if anyone knows what he was. So, yeah, like, Elena's, like, so if he was actually ethnically Japanese, fine.
You'd be a quarter Japanese.
I'd be a quarter Japanese, but I don't actually know, and I look white as hell, so...
I think that you are part Japanese because if you look at your brother, he looks part Japanese.
Well, I mean, my brother... My bruh has a different mother.
I know, but she is not Japanese, is she?
No, but she does have his eyes and everything, though. Like, she has the more, like, almond-shaped eyes and stuff, and I don't know. I don't think I look Japanese at all.
I think sometimes you do have traits that I could see.
I don't know.
I mean, for somebody who would be 1/4 Japanese, I could see it.
I had a roommate in college who was, and she looked just as white as me, but
You know, it shows up differently in different people.
Yeah. So the legit answer is I don't know. But let's go with white. Let's go with white sourdough. I also don't want to sound like one of those people who's like, I'm, 64th Cherokee or something.
Well, I mean, I think it's one thing if you're completely making it up, but you aren't.
No. The answer is just in general, I don't know. But I know what I look like, and I know what kind of privilege I have because of what I look like.
One of the strangest experiences I ever had was, well, I guess it's not really the strangest. I have been attacked by elephant seals, but like one of the more eye-opening experiences I've had was when I was living in England, which is an extremely homogenous country. Like one of the most homogenous in the world, like up there with a lot of Asian countries. And when I was there, I was sometimes asked, like, where are you from, before I even said anything. And as soon as they heard my voice, they were like, oh, American, but like, where are you from? Mm-hmm. And they weren't content with the answer, like, the U.S. Mm-hmm. And when I would say, like, oh, I'm Italian, they'd be like, oh, that's it. You look exotic. And I was like, oh. I have never thought of myself as an exotic looking person, but I guess in a very rural part of England where everybody is like the same short height, pasty white skin, sandy brown hair, downturn eyes, like I look exotic to them because I'm tall, I'm olive skinned, I have very dark hair and all of that. So I was like, oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah. It
was just a weird experience.
Lara says, you're olive skinned? Girl, yeah.
Girl, yeah. You have to see how I tan compared to like Ash and Sarah.
Yeah, Elena has a distinctly yellow tint to her skin, whereas me, I'm pank. Pank. Tramp.
And Sarah is like lobster if she spends any time in the sun at all.
Literally, like all Sarah has to do is step out onto our patio and she is immediately strawberried. Like,
it's so easy for her to turn pink, like even without the sun, like if she's mildly embarrassed or something, like she's immediately like really vermilion. Like,
yeah. It's really funny to watch her dad too.
Yeah.
Sephi said, wait, is having yellowy skin what olive skin means?
There's like a particular tone of skin that's called olive, and it's usually applied to Mediterranean people like Italians and people from, that area. But I would also call some kinds of Asian skin olive skinned. Mm-hmm.
Again, I think open to interpretation.
Yeah.
But I think it really is more used as a Mediterranean descriptor.
Because of the whole olive oil and everything, but...
Yeah. Woody said jaundice.
Hey now.
Hey.
Hi. Okay, I think I'm done with this sketch.
I think it looks really good.
Thank you, dear.
Flame Rider asks if we have seen the Steven Bomb. We have seen every Steven universe there is to see.
Yep.
It was good. Oh, Proxy asked, does Ash have a brother from another mother? Yes, I do. I have a half-brother. I had two, actually. But one of them is no longer with us. Several years ago, though.
Technically, you've had 3.
Yeah, technically I've had 3 brothers, but one of them was my twin. Yeah. but he only lived a few hours. And he was not my brother from another mother.
No, I was just saying you've had 3 brothers.
Yeah.
Well, one of them you still have. I don't want to use the past tense for Ray.
Ray is still around. Yeah, my brother is 8 years older than me, and he lives in Florida. And he is very, like, you could not have 2 siblings that look more different without, like, one of them being a different race. Like, he is extraordinarily muscular and tall, and his hair is super dark. I mean, my hair is pretty dark too, but his hair is like black. And put side by side, you would not know we are related at all. I have never seen a picture of the 2 of us that made it look like we were related. It's just because we share no common physical traits. It was really creepy because one time he visited me at college, everyone was like, "Who's your boyfriend?" I was just like,
People have thought that David was my child a lot. Less now that David doesn't look like a child anymore, but like most of my life I have looked older than I was, and now I look a lot younger than I am. A lot of people mistake me for a college student, but I left college in 2009. I guess pretty early on I started to look 18, and then I've kind of stayed looking 18. Despite the fact that I'm apparently getting some gray hairs at my temples now. They're not really visible.
They are when you pull your hair back. But if you just shift your hair slightly aside, I see like at least 10, 12 gray hairs.
Wow.
But just looking at your hair from the top, no, you can't tell. Whereas I've got 2 silver hairs like that come directly from the crown of my head straight down the front. And it's very obvious. Excuse me. Diesel Frog said, "Welcome to the Gray Hair Club."
Thanks. I'm not unhappy to join it.
Lara, do you have any gray hair? Matt said, "The curves of Claire's hair and Rosie's arm/boob kind of make it look like Claire has Clementine's curls." A little bit, yeah. I could see that.
It'll look less like that when it's colored.
I often wonder how old I look.
Depends what you're wearing, really.
Does it? I wear the same shirt like every day.
I think it's the same with me. Like, I tend to wear a lot of, casual clothes like hoodies and things. But if I wear makeup with like dark lipstick or anything, it adds so many years to my appearance. Or if I wear something like more professional looking, like a suit or something, I think it immediately makes me look more my age.
How old do I usually look?
You could pass as a college student. I feel like if you wore something very juvenile looking, like a hoodie with, I don't know, some anime weeaboo shit on it, you could pass for high school even if you tried.
Really?
Yeah, like it. Also, if you were hanging out with people who looked visibly younger, you could blend in, I think. I don't know if I could anymore. But I get mistaken for a college student all the time.
I wonder. I mean, the question that I do get most often at the orientation fairs is, are you a student here?
Yeah, so you could be a college student.
And I'm like, oh no, not since 2009. I'm about to be 30. Oh my god, I'm about to be 30.
I've been 30 for a while. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, I know.
You think it's going to feel so different, and then it doesn't.
Oh, I don't think it's going to feel any different, really. It's just kind of, an interesting thought. I have been around for almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
When do I become vintage? Excuse me.
I think it's around 40. Around the time that they start calling the things you used to love as a child retro.
Oh no. Oh, Diesel Frog said, "Darling, forget vintage. You are classic."
Yeah.
Thank you. I think that's a good thing, right? Elena makes non-committal noise.
Classic is even older than vintage.
Oh, I haven't prompted in a while. Does anyone have any questions for us? Oh, Sephi says, what are Sister Claire's Gorgons like? I'm not sure, darling. I just used that as an example earlier. I haven't thought about it, but, I'm sure they behave like typical Gorgons in that, they turn people who piss them off into stone.
That was actually a curse applied specifically to Medusa.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See, I did not know that. So what's a typical Gorgon like? Gorgon.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna wiki that.
Or did they? Yeah, I feel like that was specifically to Medusa, making her look like that.
The name derives from the ancient Greek word Gorgos, which means dreadful. Oh. The term commonly refers to any of three sisters who had hair made of living venomous snakes, as well as a horrifying visage that turned those who beheld her to stone. Oh, okay, so it wasn't just Medusa.
Well, I'm confused now because I remember that they were sisters and there were multiple Gorgons, but the legend usually just talks about Medusa, and I do remember that was a curse that was placed upon them, like they were not originally born that way.
Yeah.
And actually, if you read the entire story, it's really shitty because basically she got raped, and that was her punishment for trying to speak up about it, was being cursed by a god. Yeah, it was awful.
But it says, some Gorgons are shown with fangs consisting of wild boar tusks, while other representations lack fangs and show a forced smile, displaying large teeth and sometimes a protruding tongue. Oh my. I don't know. I would have to, I'd have to think about it. Cool. Proxy asks if I have read his fic. No, I have not read your fic yet, dear heart, but I hope to very soon. Matt asks, Ash or Elena, have you heard of the Tyrion argument for self-image, and do you think it could be applied to transgender people in any way?
I have no idea what that is.
I'm not sure what that is. If it's something Game of Thronesy, then I'm not sure. I know Tyrion is a character in Game of Thrones, but those books were a bit much for me. Flame Rider asks if we could sing. Do you want to sing now, or do you want to sing later?
Can we sing later? I'm
Yeah.
trying to concentrate on what I'm doing right now.
We'll sing eventually, dear heart, don't worry.
Isn't it such a beautiful night? Whoa, we're underneath 1,000 shining stars. Isn't it nice to find yourself somewhere different? Whoa, why don't you let yourself just be wherever you are?
Oh, Matt says, in Game of Thrones, Tyrion, who is a dwarf, is talking to Jon Snow, who is a bastard, and he says to him, "Never forget what you are, for surely the world will not. Make it your strength. Then it can never be your weakness. Armor yourself in it, and it will never be used to hurt you." And Matt said if this quote could be used to apply to transgender people. I think that, I am not trans, and I am not going to answer for trans people. I think some people might be able to take, people in general might be able to take this quote to heart, but if you're talking about a transgender person, remembering how life was before they transitioned, and using it to armor themselves and stuff, it's like I said, not trans. I'm not sure how a trans person would feel about that. I assume it would depend on which trans person you asked.
Mm-hmm. Oops.
CJ says, Claire is an ace lesbian, right? As is Catherine. I'm not sure Claire would ID as a lesbian.
I don't think.
Yeah, no. That's a safer bet with Catherine, but even so, I'm not sure that that's totally accurate.
Catherine is I don't even, well, yeah, she's an Oscar sexual, Oscar romantic.
CJ was asking because of the flag. No, we gave the rainbow flag to Claire, just, I think, because it's, the most inclusive. And also, yes, like someone else said, we didn't want the two ace flags right next to each other.
And because we've already established that everybody in Claire is queer, so it's like...
Claire's representing the whole comic here.
The rainbow can apply to any of these characters, but yeah, we wanted Claire in the middle because, you know, main character and all.
Benicula said Demi then for cat. Oh, yeah. Matt says, I have another question, this one for Ash. Did you have any religious upbringing like Elena? No. When I was a kid, I have some funny stories about church, because I did go to church a couple times when I was a kid. But my parents were not super religious. They never really went to church very much, and some other members of my family did, but it was really, you know, for holidays and stuff like that. And I was never forced to believe any particular thing, or I didn't have to go to a Catholic school where nuns called me stupid and hit me with rulers. Although
you.
I was hit with a ruler once by someone who wasn't a nun, but who was a teacher. But, you know, that was just a bad teacher. I don't know if she was religious or not. I think she was just a jerk. Yeah. Casey asks, is anybody demisexual in Sister Claire? Yeah, we just mentioned Catherine. Catherine is.
Claire's sexuality is kind of undecided. Like, she is for sure on the ace spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
But as to, like, any specifics about that, we have not completely decided that. So Claire might be demi.
Yeah.
It's TBA.
Mm-hmm. As with identities in general, our characters, you know, we don't plan out absolutely every aspect of our characters' personalities, and they evolve as time goes on. So sometimes it feels a little bad to try to put a character under a particular label or in a particular box, only to have them rip off the label and climb out of the box 2 seconds later. Woody says, I'm stuck between wanting representation and thinking too much specifics don't really matter. I think it really, you know, I think that depends on your story. I think happily enough in Sister Claire, because everyone is some form of queer, like, after a while, a lot of the specifics don't tend to matter as much to some people. But others who so seldom see themselves represented are so happy to have us outright clarify. Some others are so happy to have us outright clarify, yes, this character is this. Not only do you have it word of God, but here it is mentioned in the comic in the missing moments, and, like, here it is. You can look at this character and see yourself.
Mm-hmm. The ace flag is giving me issues because unless I make it a bit fainter, it really cuts off the top of her head here. I have some ideas.
Sephi asks, "Hey Elena, how do you do a gradient fill thing with more than 2 colors?"
Oh, 1 second, I'll show you. Come on, paint bucket, get over here. Okay. So with more than one fill color, you gotta go to the gradient tool. And you see up here, there's this panel that lets you select the gradient, and you can either do, these top 2 are like the front to back, the front color and the back color combined. Right now I have this like very faint gray and white, or it can be just the front color to a transparent, which is the gray that I have selected here. There's some pre-made gradients you can use, like there's a pre-made rainbow one, some pastel colors, and you can look up more here. But if you want to make your own, you can double click on, click on any of these, and you can start adding more colors to it, and you can pick them out from here and make whatever kind of color combo you want. You can change their position on the gradient, and just mess around with that. I tend to be kind of lazy and go with the ones that are pre-picked, but
now
you don't have to be lazy like me.
This is an interesting question. I think one we should all contemplate with some sincerity here. Topaz said, "I had a crush on a girl and tried to tell my best friend. She reacted badly, so I quickly took back and said that I was joking. Any tips on coming out to friends as a kid?"
It's such a situational thing. Like, I really don't want to be like, okay, here's what you do, because like really it depends on the person, depends on the situation. Like, unfortunately, there isn't any like one universal foolproof advice, except use your best judgment.
Yeah, like Topaz, I understand that probably didn't feel very good when your friend reacted badly, but there is a thought that if I was going to give you any advice, and I can't say that this will work, I can only say that this is what I would try to do if it were me, in a situation where I was really hoping a friend of mine would listen to me and support me, I would take the friend aside when, a time when it was just the 2 of you, when you had plenty of time to talk, and say that you had something you'd like to tell them, and tell them that you weren't joking, that you have this crush and you'd like them to talk with you about it and take it seriously. And if they had a bad reaction, maybe you could ask them why they were having it, why they felt that way, and just talk about it. Like, you're still the same person that they have been friends with, and hopefully they're a good enough friend that they would see that and would really want to support you, because what friends are supposed to be are people who always want, above anything else, to make you happy and comfortable.
I think Lupo needs some body hair.
Yeah, Sephi. Oh, not replying to Lupo and his body hair comment.
He's looking kind of bare.
But I mean, you know, Lupo and body hair is always good. But Sephi also said, Topaz, you don't have to be out. Like, if you want to share that with your friends, that's good. But if you feel like they're going to be mean about it, you don't have to share that part of yourself with the person who's mean. You really don't.
Yeah.
They don't deserve you if they're going to be mean.
I don't know if I like how I've drawn that hair.
I think it's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, I like it. You should try to find some way to give Oscar her sparkles. Riggy asks, how old is Dove? 17 to 18? Dove is older than Claire. By a couple years. Closer to the... Not as... I don't have a definitive age for Dove, but she is older than Claire and younger than the twins.
So between 19 and 22.
Yeah. So in that range somewhere. Matt said, Elena, I'm straight as an arrow, but you're confusing me with Lupo right now. Hey, Lupo's a very, puzzle.
Spicy. A spicy meatball.
He's a confusing fellow.
My computer's like, This block of black is irritating the shit out of me. It's ruining the whole composition.
You could tone it down to gray, can't you? I mean, I know you still want it to be obvious that it's the... I think people would still get the picture. Riggy asks... Oscar and Catherine are in their 40s? Yeah, they are. We had ages. You know the person to ask about ages? Laura. Ask the timeline genius. But, yeah. Catherine is 1 year older than Oscar, and they're both in their early to mid-40s. Yeah. Oh, it was a specific question, actually. Laura was like, do I need to get the timeline? And I was like, no, it was a vague question. I scroll up and I see that CJ has asked very specifically, point blank, how old are Oscar, Catherine, Olga, and Jackson at the current point in the comic? Laura, would you be a dear heart and get the timeline? I think I remember, but... I would like to check my numbers. My nose is still itching.
I'm gonna try something.
I don't like the pastel look super much. Whoa. Topaz said, "Have you guys tried squid ink pasta? I only tried because of an anime."
Yes, I have. It's not super uncommon in Italy.
Have I had it before?
Well,
I've had blue pasta, but
I
I haven't.
had blue pasta, and I wanted to give you squid ink pasta, but I don't think you have had it.
I don't think I have yet. There's one of those like really fancy gourmet grocery stores near here, and I know they have it. So we could try it at any time.
Definitely.
Okay, so I think some. Wait a minute. So, I've got the ages for you, CJ. Oscar is 44, Catherine is 45, Olga 43, and Jackson is 39. At this point in the comic, you might be able to add a year to some of those ages depending on birthdays, but right around there. I think that's good enough to be going on, don't you? Thank you very much for finding the ages, Laura. Sephi said, so if Clementine was alive, she'd be 39 or 40. Yeah. You Ninja said, they've got great skin. they're comic book characters.
Oh my god.
So
their skin is made of plastic. They have no pores. Their pores don't exist. Dermatologists hate them.
Can I borrow the power cord, dear?
Yeah.
When you get a second, could you pass it? Thank you.
Sarah's been gone a long time. Hope
Yeah.
everything's going okay.
I think it's fine. She didn't look super stressed.
Well,
Could
she
you
is.
lift that chair. Thank you.
She's talking to an ex, so I hope it's going okay.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Oh, Laura said, poor Queen Sylvia, however, got gray hair in her early 30s. Yeah, like, consider, though, all that she had been subjected to.
Yeah, but consider all that Catherine's been subjected to. She looks freaking awesome.
It's true. You've never drawn Catherine or Oscar with gray in their hair, but I feel like you easily could start. And
you know what? Let's not make their designs more complicated than they have to be.
I was just talking about a streak or something.
I know. That's not their magic.
Okay. Matt said, Elena, you're one to talk about making something too complicated. Remember the grass?
I don't remember the grass, actually. Like, what do you...
I'm there. Okay, Matt is referencing when I was trying to tell people how you always overcomplicate everything. I'll be like, Elena, draw some grass. You draws a whole city. Like...
Yeah, but sometimes I do try to be good, and I try to not make buttloads of extra work for myself. And there's some things that I think, you know, it's really not going to be that big a deal if I give Olga a scar that goes through her eyebrows, but that ends up taking precious time to, like, you know, look up her design, and did I draw it on the right side? Fuck, I didn't. I have to redraw. Like, and it's best to just, whenever possible, keep things symmetrical, keep them easy to just click and fill the color.
A lot of people are, Selkie mom, talking about Catherine and aging differently and stuff. Someone mentioned, Riggy said, I thought it was confirmed with the holiday special that her mom was a Selkie. If y'all could see the creepy anime face Elena's making right now. It's so creepy. CJ said, oh, I had another question also. What is Magpie's sexual orientation?
Probably pan. Marguerite sexual.
Yeah, Marguerite. I wonder if Magpie falls on the ace spectrum. Like, Magpie definitely, like, you know, wouldn't I don't want to use the phrase, like, wouldn't care how someone else identified, because that, like, I don't want to... I'm trying to think of how to phrase this without putting my foot firmly in my mouth. Sometimes it's hard talking live, like, and having everything recorded so people can later...
Pick it apart
and be like, you're an ass. Ash.
She's an asshole.
Like, I don't think how a person identified would, like, Magpie would not have any qualms about how any person identified. But
gender-wise.
Yeah, gender-wise. But as to being actually attracted to people, like, that, I think that would take a lot for Magpie. Like, Magpie could think someone was very attractive and not want to do anything about it, just like any other human being. And, well, not any other, but you know what I mean. As a general reaction. But to actually want to do anything about it, like, that would take quite a bit more. And so I do wonder if Magpie's not some kind of demi. It's a thought. I haven't honestly given it a ton of thought because, like, Magpie's relationships in the comic and Missing Moments are pretty straightforward in my own head, and a lot of it y'all haven't, well, a lot of it you have seen, a lot of it you haven't seen, so we're getting there. Good question. CJ said, so pan, but on the ace spectrum. You know, in a nutshell, darling, yeah, that's a pretty good that's a pretty good crack at it. Aw. Budgie said, oh, Ash, by the way, even though you just made a small name drop toward Budgie in Paradise, Riggy and I were gushing about it all night. especially Paradise. Super cool. I try. When y'all put a lot of thought and stuff into your characters, it makes me want them to appear in the story.
Mm-hmm.
And even if all I can give you at the moment is a little mention in a live write, I want you to know that I'm thinking of you and that I think you're amazing. Thank you for creating characters that exist and live and breathe in our world. It's very, very flattering, y'all.
It is.
Alexis says, I was asking, when making the comic, how far do you plan for specific or important plot points, whether they were planned so far in advance or spur of the moment and trying to fit it in last minute? How far do you think about clues and such? I think that can vary a lot. Like, there are some things that we have planned for a very, very long time. There are other things that we work in kind of at the last minute because we're like, hey, that's a really good idea. Or we realize, oh, it would fit so much better if thing. Like, so what we try to do is be flexible enough in our storytelling style that if we need to change the narrative to be more accommodating or just better, we can do that. I try not to write us into a corner. And Laura helps with that. Ellen is really good at looking at the established script and figuring out how to make something clearer, or how to condense a moment, or how to put in appropriate pauses to make it more signature. So, like, it's a group effort. Oh my god, my nose is itchy. I want to do the creepy anime face. God, it's so creepy.
Flame Rider asked me which fell first, Eden or Throna Mare? It was Eden, right?
Yeah, it was Eden. Alexis says, also, have you ever put in a clue and then panicked, realizing it gives away something super important? No.
You know what we have done, though?
I
Put
know what
in
you're gonna
clues
say.
that we thought, like, there's no way they can miss this. They are going to shit their pants. And then all the comments on the page are like, you spelled this wrong. Or like, I think you forgot to color in her boob. Or something. And it's like, okay, now, that is not what you were supposed to focus on. But thanks.
But there have been plenty of times where we've thought, you know, people are totally going to get this because this is so obvious. No one gets it. Or people debate it endlessly even though we think we have spelled it out.
Or like one person gets it and then somebody else comes in and is like, well, actually, no, that can't be right because insert really incorrect logic. And it's like,
We're on the other side of the screen not wanting to be mean, but at the same time we're like, oh my god, how could we be any more explicit without just outright saying it? It makes us, we're like, are we bad storytellers? Are we just like not doing a good job? Bye, Topaz. I hope you really enjoy your spaghetti, and good luck with everything.
Good luck.
Riggy says, can you give an example of something that people have, like, something that we thought was obvious that everyone else missed? I can think of some things, but I don't want to be a jerk.
Yeah, because I honestly can't remember, like, specifically who came in and argued things, but there may be people who are here who were participating in that, and I don't want to, make anybody feel embarrassed or bad.
Yeah, I don't want to call out anybody. Oh, hi, Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Oh, Call Me Moon says, are my messages appearing? Yes, dear heart, we can see you. If I've missed any questions from you, I'm really sorry. Please post them again. Sometimes the chat scrolls so fast that I miss them. Riggy, I can tell you that Riggy said, tell us about something that's confirmed and the arguing about is over. Like, okay, here's the thing. Oscar being trans. Even now, there are still people who debate about it in the comments sometimes. And that is like the one thing that I will endlessly get up in arms about, because it's like, we've cleared this up. We have written about this.
Or people being like, I don't know if Maman is trans. And it's like, she is trans. It says in the narrative, like, in so many ways, like, this is not even a thing you should be wondering about at this point.
Oh, I think I missed another question. Laura's, Oh, Budgie says, hey Elena, I think if you leave other characters' skin striped, shouldn't you leave Oscar's too?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and edit Oscar. I was just experimenting to see how different things looked, but
Benicula said, like, when people debate about things, her favorite was Zora leaving a lipstick print on the letter to Abraham. Maybe she's like that with everything. It doesn't mean she actually wants to kiss her. Just gals being pals.
like, have you even read this comic?
Yeah, come on. The Sister Claire version of Pearl had a crush on Greg and was using rainbow quartz to show off for him. Honey, no. Aw. Call Me Moon said, "Can I just say the pages leading up to Oscar's reveal had some of the most heartbreaking comments ever, but the response from the creators made me so very happy. We're really glad, dear heart. We're really, really glad." Laura's talking about Zora in that one live write, just like, "I almost killed you. Let me question you about your sex life." Sounds like Zora. Have you read that one yet, Elena?
No.
The Zora and Abraham
I have
one?
not yet.
Yeah. That's when Zora's young.
Oh my.
Aw. Alexis said, "You guys have been such a big inspiration for me in my comic. Thank you so much. Your live draws are usually the background noise that fuels me, and I have found your discussion of the comic and it's making very helpful for my creative process."
Aw.
Oh, thank you. I'm really glad that we help it all.
Me too.
That sounded kind of abrupt. I'm sorry. I'm really glad we help you. Laura says that she loves Kat and Oscar looking at each other. I love them as well. They are so precious. Our babies. Our babies. Oh my god, look at Lupo's nipple.
I know. I'm having trouble with this right now.
Matt said about Oscar and Catherine, "Their love transcends the barriers of the wallpaper." I really like it. That drink is so nasty. Oh, I'm not putting that in my mouth again. No. Aw, there's some nice comments tonight. Benicula said, "Sister Claire is one of the comics I point people to as one to study for how to do the thing. Best paneling, pacing, aesthetic, it's all there."
Oh.
Yay! I'm really glad that you think we're doing a good job.
Me too.
We will continue to try to do a good job. Laura said, "We got recommended by an Ace Positivity Tumblr too. I dropped them a thank you." Thank you, Laura. I didn't notice that. That's awesome. On one hand, it puts the pressure on us, but on the other, I think it's a good pressure to have. The expectations of our readers to tell the best story possible. It's why we work so hard. It's why we added Laura. We do really, really strive to try to do right by y'all. Oh, hey, speaking of Laura, would anyone be interested in seeing a joint live write? Like one where Laura and I work together to bring you a story, a written story. Matt's immediate reply, "Yes!" Aw. Look at all the yeses. That makes me happy. I'd really like to do that too. I've written a lot with Laura, but we haven't done it very much live.
Hi.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I was watching you draw from the other room.
You
You're
were-
looking really good.
Thank you.
Aw, Karen said, "I wish I had magic pertaining to completing laundry, you guys."
Oh,
Karen, I think we all wish we had that.
If I had mundane chore magic, it would be for making the bed. That's my most dreaded chore, Ash, as a fellow small person.
Yeah, making the bed is one of those things that I desperately want done, and I always make my side of it, but we have a king bed, and like Elena is the long-limbed creature of the family and doesn't like making the bed, and when I try to stretch over it and make it, I end up falling flat on my face.
So I have these 2 hair ties, and lately I've just been playing with them and making knots. Look at this beautiful knot I came up with.
Sarah, oh my god. Sarah, no.
It's Celtic. It's lovely. It's perfect. I'm gonna have to buy new hair ties because I don't want to untie this because I don't know how to tie it again. You pulled off the tasteful nude thing really well.
Thank you.
Just a single nip.
Just one nip.
Ash, would you laugh at that?
I'm making faces at Lara.
Cute.
That's better, I think.
Budgie said, everyone else, tasteful nude. Lupo, look at my big hairy chest.
I imagine he would be like that. But Rosie's also like, check out this tasteful side boob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they would be, you know, the
They would be the
characters to
two.
do that.
Down there, is that Marie's shoulder? Like, it's...
I know, her hair is kind of messy looking. I'll fix it later.
Okay. Oh, yeah, Riggy said, are you going to make their eyes white like Oscar? I also think you should give them eye shine just a little bit. It really does a lot to make them look... What's a good word? Human. Sarah's like, human.
Alive.
It's alive.
What?
Jello. It's alive.
Claire looks so colorful.
Yeah.
She looks like a McDonald character.
Oh my god, no. I really like the twins panel. To me, that's the best one. But the pan colors are so good.
Yeah, they are really nice colors.
Aw, Laura
Makes me really wish I was pan.
Laura said, I had the most soul-cleansing moment of companionship the other day. Met another ace girl and we were squeeing over our mutual hate for kissing. Oh. It's like licking a wall. Tastes like spit, right?
What? Who likes a wall?
What?
Walls taste like dust and cement.
Walls taste like paint. I don't know how many walls you've licked, Lara, but unless several people have been licking this wall in a row, there's no reason it should taste like spit.
Glory wall.
I think the sentiment is more supposed to be doesn't taste very good.
I see.
I mean,
That's
depends
fine.
what somebody's been eating.
Depends on your opinion of kissing.
Well, they were just saying they don't like kissing.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Like,
Okay.
they're allowed to not like it.
Yeah, you're allowed to not like it, but doesn't always taste bad. Does your mouth taste
According to you.
bad all the time? Like,
Yeah, that looks really good with the white eyes.
what?
Yunin just said, okay, but there's so much spit exchanged in kissing. You could never end up feeling dehydrated. I think it depends on the kind of kissing you're doing.
It really depends. Like,
It depends on the person you're kissing also.
admittedly, some people are, less skilled than others, and they make a mess. And
Oh, Jesus.
I think skill is a relative term.
okay, but like, I think everybody can agree that there are some kinds that are nicer than other kinds. Nobody likes to be kissed by dogs. Okay, that's not true. Some people really like being kissed by dogs. But in general, people don't like being kissed like a human that acts like a dog, just licks all over your face.
I got you.
Ash is like, I like.
No, I really.
I know.
Ash is like, oh.
No, the first person I was ever in a relationship with really turned me off kissing. I like the idea of kissing in theory, but wow. Like, theories are not reality all the time.
I was in a relationship with someone that didn't really like kissing, and this was the first such person I had kissed. And they told me, yeah, after thinking about it, I really don't like kissing you. And I was like, but it's so much fun. How could you not like it? But I understand now. Not everyone has to have the same taste.
Now Lupo looks really pink here. Now it's awkward.
Why? Wait.
Awkward.
See? He looks pink.
He's
That's
blushing.
not his skin tone. He's olive. Now I have to make him purple everywhere.
That's okay.
It's supposed to be grass, Elena. Alexis says, in the Sister Claire universe, is demon magic or spirit summoning a magic that can be used? Because I have an original character that I made from my comic, but she would be very comfortable in the Sister Claire universe.
No, not really.
No. I think there are certain magics you could use to summon shards, but why would you want to? Don't do that.
He looks like Lupo Sparkle.
Now he looks like a gray zombie.
Just leave his face pink, Elena. It really looks okay.
It looks very weird to me.
I really don't think it does. Zoom out. When you look at the whole picture, it's not.
That's what looks... Oh shit, where's Claire's head? Okay. No, see,
Is
to
the
me...
blue further up? Like, is the blue more of the flag than the pink? Because I thought they were even on the flag. But here it looks like your blue is further up. You could slide that whole... Maybe it's not? It just looks like it.
It just looks like it, but like.
What if you fudge a little bit and slide it down?
Yeah,
like,
I might do that.
Just a little bit down.
I did that with Catherine's and it helped a lot.
I think you should fudge it. Well, maybe that's what I'm seeing. That is not lining up with Catherine's.
Yeah, maybe something more like the soups.
Yeah. That looks really good.
People in the chat are still talking about kissing. Miss Aldrich said, "Kissing is great with the right person. If they try and lick your tonsils, it gets awkward." Yeah, I can imagine. You know, be like, "Whoa there, Bessie. Calm it down." The first person I ever kissed came after me like a very eager dog.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
It was like, I still think back on those days with like creeping horror.
Those are the days, my friends, we thought they'd never end.
Pause awkwardly. I guess.
I don't think that I have any kissing horror stories.
Oh,
No
wow.
ones that can be shared.
Zach said.
I don't even know what you're referring to. Sorry. Go on.
Zach said, "First kiss, high school, sophomore year, in the catwalk for the theater. Romanticu."
That is really romantic. That's very cute.
My first kiss was so freaking rude. Like, I don't even want to think about it anymore. If I could go back in time and slap that person, I really would. Like, really freaking hard, too.
I think I'm done now. Can we call it a night? It's past midnight and I have been drawing all day. I
Okay.
need a break.
Can you do the eye shine?
Oh, okay.
Eye shine, eye shine.
I think on Oscar you won't see it, but on the other characters you could.
Yeah, on the other characters you will, and I think it's important. I also think if you could, it would be great to add Oscar's sparkles, just because they're so signature.
I don't really want to do a ton because I don't want to make her be like the focus here.
Yeah, I'm not saying a ton.
What if you do them in blue like her line art?
Then I can't draw them on her hair.
Yeah, you can. It'll be like the outline of her hair.
Isn't it nicer in white? It makes more sense.
Okay.
Oh, Alexis asked. Oh, the chat keeps scrolling. I'm sorry, Alexis. This is so frustrating. Okay. What about animal summoning or animal partnership like familiars in terms of like magic? Yeah, now that could be a thing.
I mean, look at the protagonist.
Yeah, but that's a little what?
What about rat witches?
There are, I mean, people who turn into rats.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that. There are also, canonically, witches called pipers who have an affinity for certain kinds of animals and tend to attract them.
Oh my god. Do you have a rat piper?
There's
No.
a mouse piper.
Mouse piper and a spider piper.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Mm-hmm. They're siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Claire's eye looks creepy zoomed in like that. Wow.
I like the little second shine you put on Claire's eyes.
It looked weird to me.
Okay. You the artist.
I think I'm finito.
Finito.
Mm-hmm. Somebody is begging for shiny nipples.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna ask you. Someone in the chat is typing it.
Oh, Sarah,
Don't
don't try to act so demure. Like, I would be so shy to ask for shiny nipples.
I just feel like I've already brought up so many taboo things. You know, I know we're recording, so I think any other circumstance it wouldn't be. I don't think you should keep them. I really
You
don't. No, as fun as the idea is, I really don't.
Okay. Finito now. Any last questions, anyone? Before we say goodnight.
Matt says, thank you guys so much for the Sister Bomb this week. It's been truly amazing and fun. Thank you so much for attending it and enjoying it, and we will try to do another one soon.
Mm-hmm.
Diane says, are you sure you're done?
Oh no, I'm trying a couple more.
Elena, no.
Elena.
Elena, please. Elena, no. Oh, Flame Rider said, happy late birthday, Ash. Actually, it's not my birthday yet, so, you know.
It's still tomorrow.
Oh yeah, because it's already the 10th. One more day. Hey, Budgie said, do you guys have a canonical name for Sister Claire Australia? I called it the Southern Wastes, but I just want to make sure there's not a canonical name. There's not, and the Southern Wastes sounds quite nice. I like that.
Approved.
Gavel slam.
Ash, seal of approval.
Yeah.
Job space budgie.
I think we need to say goodnight.
I think so too.
Let's see.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night.